Okay, here's a few more measurements on Lifetrack 5. Okay, start with the foot pedals here in the cab. So the cab's got a control joystick and some foot pedals. Let's take some measurements. So this piece here, the foot pedal itself, that's 8 inches by 4. The height of this one here is about 4 inches for this piece sticking out. The height of that hole is about 1 3/4 inches. The length of these pieces, they look like a 1/4 by 1. The distance there is about 14 inches. About 14 inches, and one of them, each one of them is this one here is 14 inches. Right there. The second one that goes actually into the valve is about 10 inches. Yep. And the bolts, they have a slot so that these things are adjustable. These are 1/2-inch bolts. The shaft here, the width here, that would be 16 inches. The shaft itself is 17 inches. There's two 1-inch nuts underneath the pedal. There's some grooves set up in place. Mounting plate here is 8 inches by 8 inches. 4 bolts on top of that. Okay, some other measurements. Like say this one part right here, loader attachment. So the existing loader arms are 48 inches. This piece here is a 16-inch piece. There's a 16-inch piece here on the back. These two are holding like this. There's an 8 by 8 inch piece here. This piece here is cut out so that the full dump can happen. This piece here is 3 holes, 12 inches. This one's 16 inches. That's another plate here, 8 by 16. We have these two tubes for the loader. Total distance of 12 inches, and here we've got this quick attach welded on, and it comes out like this. So basically this one ring here and the bottom ring are not threaded. The part that's threaded is if you spin this, the nuts there are threaded. So you can actually lift this pin out, and there's a small tube that looks like a 3/4 inch pin. You could either lift it manually by hand, and it goes into the slot in the bucket itself. So that's proper. So the bucket, the quick attach is just like in the cab drawings. So here's some of the bolt patterns. Long bolt, 8-inch here, short bolts here, just stubs. There's one all the way through down there, all the way through here, all the way through, and this one here goes clear through the 12 inches. This one here goes, let's take a look at that. So this is the pin around which so this part moves here. This is what rotates here around this pin here. Needs to be tight here. What else? So this is a stiff mount here, stiff mounted here. This is the pin around which the quick attach would rotate. These two pieces are bolted together through this bolt, which goes all the way through to the other side. And this bolt here, all these bolts, they just hold on the plate onto the quick attach. Just going through the detail of the bolt. So this one goes through here, the third one, this one here, that goes all the way through. So that's a 12-inch bolt, 12-inch or longer. This one goes all the way through. Now there's nothing, I don't see anything there. This is just a holding this piece here. Let's see from the other side. So this piece here, these two pieces, the 4x4 tubes, are held by this bolt right there in between. So there's a lot of complex bolting here. This one here from this side, that's the one that goes all the way through. This one goes through to here. So that's about that. And here, as far as the corner joint, we've got just a simple 90-degree angle, 8x16 plate here, then an 8x16 going down, and this 4x12 is what the cylinder is attached to, right here. And here's our screen, here's the turn-on switch. This is what we're using right now to actually extend we can't do it by hand, we use this. It should have a handle here so you can spin this readily to take out the pin on the quick attach. So this see the way it works. I'm not sure how this is working here. This doesn't appear. Basically, when I'm spinning this, all that happens is that this pin goes up here. This goes up, but this thing is not moving. So there needs to be another holder on this mechanism. This mechanism is not correct right there. What else do we have? So some more details. Mounting. Okay, these bolts need to be trimmed down here. A lot of sharp edges. Let's get rid of these sharp edges. Just like there. So the big cylinder here, we're finding out that this mount here, that had to be welded on because that wasn't strong enough to hold the. So this is all welded here. That wasn't strong enough to hold this. This cylinder basically made this thing bend out through these bolts. Now this big pivot here, that's working. We've got collars here. As far as the pivot here, this is working well with a big pin. Mounting here, mounting to the back through 8 inches of mount on the pivots. Let's see, let's look at the other side. As far as the cylinder, that looks like that all works. This mount here to the back part, mount to the front part. That's how it looks. And the back, all these pieces, these are just from before. Hold the other power cube back in. And this is the new power cube. So this appears to be a 36 horsepower diesel engine. There's a radiator. Tanks are vertical in this case, so that's the fuel diesel. And this is the hydraulic tank, which is filled. It's got a side gauge on the side. Nice big fittings. And further details. Here, these details here. Lots of little improvements can be made just to streamline this whole thing. And yeah, like simplifications here, like the way we're mounting this here. Yes, there needs to be a double attachment to these plates, but we might want to revisit that, see how differently we can do this, so we can get rid of all these extra pieces here. They're not necessary. Like for example, this one, this piece here will probably be combined with this piece here somehow. Well, there's a cylinder mounting back there, but we'll see how we can streamline all of this to make it even simpler. When I'm looking at this, my first instinct says there's too many parts here. That's how it looks to me right now. The modular wheels, they seem to be working well, just with these 2 bolts and that lever to tighten down the wheels. We're using a pin, basically a tractor pin for the wheel mount. That collar back there that needs to go, that doesn't do anything. These collars here are important. They hold the wheels in place. And so we have the double structure for the front part. I guess the main part of the arm, and then going to one tube on the bucket, so the cylinder is serving as the other connection. That's basically it. So just returning back to some other details here, like we need to close this down. That gap here makes the tractor too wide. We can close that down by 4 inches. These are hydraulic motors. Let's get some measurements. So finally here, basic design for the foot pedals. The way this works right now is that the tractor, this is the actual feed hose from the power cube. It goes out the other side and then into the foot pedal valve, and this is the actual return line. As far as the widths of the bucket and everything, so we'll put this piece away. This here, we've got 6 feet. The bucket here right now is currently 77 inches wide. So 6 feet 4 inches, about 6 feet 5 inches. The depth of this bucket is 27 inches with a sharpened bar. This part here is about 3.5 inches. The vertical is about 21 inches. And on the back side, that length to the top is 19 inches. And that's the side on the bucket. So that's about it. And then just to look at, we're using a metal sheet for the roof right now. As far as the seat mounting, there's a 4x4 across, and this is sitting on a bunch of 4x4s. And this 4x4 mounts the valve plate on here. And that's some of the main details. Okay.